What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review. Oh, girl. Raising Kanan, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 2, Reaping and Sowing, okay? So we start off, we got I don't know if 50 Cent gonna be narrating throughout this whole thing, but he's talking about Einstein, and we got, young Kanan laying in the bed just, looking up at the constellations and the stars or whatever that's on his ceiling. I said, boy, grow up. But no. Cause some of y'all got that shit too, so let me stop. I'm just playing. But anyway, he just chilling, and then the next day, this is he giving us the fact about Einstein. Every action has a reaction and a consequence, and so that is true. And basically, that is what's going on with him at this moment, because what happened with him and D Wiz and Famous, and what they did to Buck 20. That's what's gonna happen. You got a bond on your head, okay? And people are looking for him, okay? And that is what his mama Raquel. Let me tell you something. Raquel is my favorite. Raquel is a badass bitch, okay? I love her and her fashions. This is only episode 2, but baby, she is working it and she is winning it for me. She is standing out, all right? I know this shit is supposed to be about Kanan and how he grew up, but bitch, I need a story on Raquel, okay? But anyway, she's just trying to tell him, he about to go back to school after being off for a few days to let everything calm down, after the shooting that happened last week. And she just want him to be prepared. Like, just because they done took people didn't calm down, you think that you've been out of sight for a few days, people still got this bounty on your head, okay? People still gonna want the revenge. You in this shit, all right? You are in it now, And so he just so nonchalant about it, like, it's okay, it's cool, whatever. And so he gets up to leave, and he go outside. He see the shell cations, and then you got Raquel looking out the window, just watching him as he goes. And then this car pull up, and it looked like it was a drive-by situation, could have happened, but they threw, like, I don't know, was it a phone book or something out the window, some package or whatever. They just threw it out on the street. And this made Raquel, she was nervous, so she thought it was something else. So she come running out talking about some, Kanan. And she was like, I'll drive you to school. So they up in the car, and he basically was like, when we went out there to bust them guns on the beach and stuff, you basically said that I was going to be in it, so what's good? She said, you in it, and you need to watch your back. That's basically all she keeps saying. Soon as you pulled that trigger, you became part of this whole crew, okay? And I'm going to set you up. But what you need to do is you need to have fear in your heart, because fear keeps you on your toes, all right? You either have to fear who is looking for you, or you have to fear me. Either way, you have to be scared, okay? And so he said, I'm scared, And I think it was more so for his mom than anything else. So at this point, he gets to school, and as soon as he get up in there, well, before he gets to school, Raquel, she's sitting down with her brothers, and they just trying to understand. Well, Marvin, he really trying to understand. I don't get why you let him take them corners, Unique take the corners and all this stuff. And basically, the reason why she let Unique take the corners is so that this bounty that was on Kanan's head can be out of the clear. And, Lou, for whatever reason, you can tell Lou, he takes to Raquel. That's his big sister. And, Raquel probably treated him like that was her baby. And so whatever Raquel do, he gonna go along with it, because he's agreeing with just about everything that Raquel is saying. They got to come up with a new place to, do business out of, because he, like Lou said, Con Ed is gonna find out that we still in power from him, and they've been in this stash location for a minute, so it's time to move. And so, he suggests talking to this Colombians at this, store, because the wife came to him with interest in doing work, and then she possibly has a cousin that possibly have connections with the Armenians and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of drug shit, okay? And so at this point that was like, all right, we'll look into it. Mind you, Marvin talking about doing some exotic pet store, fish store, whatever, with piranhas. I said, Listen, niggas love an exotic ass pet. Okay, y'all get a goddamn lizard, a kimono dragon, a freaking boa constrictor, bitch. Y'all get a monkey in a minute. Okay, but anyway, oh excuse me. Moving on from that, we see Kanan. He go to school, and as soon as we see them in the school, it's a commotion going on. What is happening? Davina is up here fighting this girl named Tiffany. Bitch, what they fighting over? They fighting over Buck's ass. Okay, bitch. I listen. Um, I really hope people don't. I don't like it. I don't like when women fight over men. I really fucking don't. Like what's her face said, Laverne, aka Jukebox, you over here fighting over a dead man at that? Like, come on. Let's grow up, okay? Let's grow up. I mean, it don't make sense, but it happens and we see it all the time. But Davina was putting in that goddamn work. But then at this moment in time, Tiffany took after they had the cops come in, they had the cops literally come in and break them up because they was really fucking each other up. And at one point, it looked like Davina was getting her ass whooped. But then again, Davina pulled that girl by her hair and she was tucking her in the stomach. Bam, bam, damn. And then old girl was like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't even give a fuck if Buck was with you because he didn't love you. He was with me the night before he died or whatever. And then she was like, bam, popped her dead in the mouth. I said, see, you know, at this point, the dude just died. Why are we going over this? Okay, neither one of y'all got them at this point. Okay, he's dead. You don't have him. She don't have him. And so she's sitting up in the office and she's sitting in the office, and then, you know, Kanan want to come up in there and talk to her. And I'm like, Kanan, you are a sick ass man, okay? This is the beginning of him being a sick motherfucker because you like this girl. You wanted to be with this girl. You got a thing for this girl, and you go sit down and talk to her about how she feeling, where she been, knowing damn well you ain't been in school either because of the same goddamn reason, because Buck died and your ass the one that killed his ass, okay? Or you or your friend did it, bitch. I'm just sitting here like, what? You know, she had to get out of school because she had to watch her sister because her mama probably on that stuff. And then later we see her come up in there, this is what you do? I got a life of my own and I can't do this and I can't do that. Gotta come up here and work for you. And then the principal come out and she like, I ain't got no man at home and all this stuff. The mama look like she on some shit. And I'm like, this is the 80s, early 90s or whatever. Crack and all that stuff was out there. So ain't no telling what it is, you know. And it just seems like she value men over her kids anyway and probably blame them for the situation that's going on in their household and the reason why she ain't got no man. Meanwhile, Rock meets up with Unique. And basically, you know, he tell her, I called my boys off, okay? I called them off, but, you know, that's not stopping a civilian to come in and to do whatever it is that they want to do with, you know, Kanan and his crew, okay? What the streets need is a body. Keep that in mind. And I was like, what that mean? Because Miss Rock was looking like, oh, shit, so we got to do some stuff. Meanwhile, you know, Marvin up here talking about throwing a party just to let everybody know that they still out there in the street. And I was like, is that really necessary? Then you go back to the school and, you know, Famous is telling them about the chatter that they hearing in the barbershops about, you know, Buck 20 dying and the circumstances around his death. And, you know, Kanan getting a little paranoid thinking that people know what's going on as he walk past the table of people that's just looking at him, which probably was just in his mind or whatever. It's that guilt that he's feeling. And then you see Davina come past and, you know, D Wiz talking about, oh, she could put a nigga down, she could fight, she got hands and all that stuff. I think I'm in love. And Laverne like, you trying to hit on somebody who, man, just died? Like, literally just died? It was like, that ain't my problem. I said, but that's your boy's, you don't know that your boy got a feeling for it too? I said, it ain't no loyalty in this crew. Then, Malcolm, the detective, he is talking to, which I feel like is a new detective, Detective Barnes. She's a, you know, basically a legacy hire. That's what it seemed like, because in the midst of this conversation that they're having, talking about having to go and meet up with Buck's mother and see if she know anything and meet up with anybody else. And he was like, no, the mama don't know nothing. And, you know, he put out there that, you know, his Barnes father was a cop, her brother was a cop, cousin, and basically she comes from a cop family, so it do gives like she's in here for legacy, and he's trying to show her the ropes. Like basically the boss, he don't give a damn about solving this case. He just don't want no more of this stuff to happen, you know. So he got to go out and he gonna go solve it the way that he wants to solve it. And I was like, all right, I see that. So Marvin goes over there to the club or whatever where the white girl Tony is working at, and he wants to talk to her. But before that, he runs into Symphony, and he trying to size him up like big brothers do and all that stuff when it comes to their little sisters and who dating who and all this shit. Trying to intimidate him a little bit, but Symphony is not backing down. I'm like, his mama really named him that. You would think a girl be named Symphony. I never thought of a guy being named Symphony. It's cute though, it really is, but I just okay. So he stood his ground and basically said, he here for Rock, and whatever Rock want to do, that's what Rock gonna do with him. Okay. And so he go back there to talk to Tony, and she up there taking care of herself, meaning with the nose candy, okay, testing out the product and all this stuff and trying to offer some to Marvin. Marvin was like, no, bitch, I don't get high on my own supply, okay? So basically what this party is supposed to be doing is, I guess, letting everybody know that they still got the product out there. And then he just want a little booth or something, a little part of the club to, set up and, sell his stuff at. And so this is what he trying to convince Tony of, because she was like, you want to do it tomorrow, it's so short notice, why don't you just take it down to some other club down in Queens or some shit like that. And he was like, niggas like the downtown feel and stuff, like, in that area, so we want to do it out here. Plus, I'll pay for the bartender, I'll pay for this. And, she was like, pay for the DJ. Of course, she had to throw up in there that she in mourning because her dog died. Truth be fucking told, I feel that was 50 Cent that put that up in here, okay? He just gives that tease like he's an evil motherfucker in real life. Like, he could be a softie, but he can be evil as hell in real life. And he just gives out that tease that he is the one that, came up with this whole idea to bake the goddamn dog in the microwave. In the fucking microwave. And you know how these white people especially feel about their dogs, okay? The animals in general. And I said, that's fucked up. She said, I thought it was Rock at one point because, your sister is a bitch, okay? And I was like, it was her. You on the right track, but you a bitch too. Marvin let it slide because Marvin was like, let me do what I do here, and then, I'll control the crowd, make sure you give me a dance. I said, not y'all hitting up on this white girl, but okay, have at it. Truth be told, I kind of like the little white girl. I kind of like Tony. Tony a little spitfire. I really do. Meanwhile, because she don't back down, and I like people that don't back down to other people. Girl, my head's bothering me so bad. If y'all can't tell, I got to put some oil on it. But anyway, moving on from that, we get Malcolm. He's driving down to the tailor so that he can go talk to Unique, okay? So he go up in there and basically was like, so I heard Buck is one of your boys. And he was like, if you mean one of my friends, yeah, may he rest in peace, and throw some liquor out for him like some niggas do, okay? And so at this point, he go outside with Malcolm, and we see what Malcolm is about. I don't know if necessarily would you call him a dirty cop, or he one of those cops that just blurs the lines a little bit, because he told Malcolm told Unique, so we don't need no more bodies dropping, and we know that the Southside Queens or whatever that neighborhood, it got fucked up as soon as Raquel came through and took over High Post area, and we know that it can only be one king in that place, okay? And it's either she don't know the rules or she just really don't give a fuck. And I'm betting on you to get that throne. All right? Stop dropping these bodies. Calm that shit down. And then I'm going to let you do what you need to do. Okay? Let you roll free. And I'm going to be rooting for you, betting on you to be the king of this area. And I was just like, so this how we doing that? This how we doing that? So I guess you can say he a little crooked. He a little crooked, but maybe we might like him. I don't know. No, because I don't want Unique to be king. I want Raquel to, run shit. Just because she a woman off rip, a black woman, and she just got that, she got that power essence to her. So You got the kids, they walking, you know, famous, D-Wiz, jukebox, and you know, Kanan, they walking off from school and they talking about things that's going down. And you know, they supposed to go get some pizza and Jukebox finna go do something else and she don't want to say what she finna go do and they clowning her a little bit. She was like, because I got a fucking life and I don't want to fuck around with y'all niggas all the goddamn time. So at this point, to calm shit down, Kanan was like she finna go sell her clothes and stuff or whatever so that she can get some money for her studio session. She trying to cut a demo and shit like that so she can get a little famous and all that. And so at this point, her daddy pulls up, Marvin, coming to take what's his face coming to take him, Kanan, to his job. Because when Raquel had that sit down with her brothers, she basically said, we're going to put him basically trying to stash him off and make it seem like he's working. Okay. And so Marvin winds up taking him to this stash house that he calls the nerve center. And it's one other dude is there. And, you know, at first, Kanan really wasn't here for it, but he just let it slide. He just let it be and did what he had to do. The other kids, they run into Famous and D-Wiz, they run into Raquel and Lou at the same store that they was going to. And, you know, Famous, he's just not here for Lou trying to get with his sister. Lou was like, let your sister know that I'm trying to holler at her, whatever. He like, you know, I don't talk to her like that, but don't y'all see each other? Y'all live up in the same house. You can talk to her over breakfast and all. She don't really like cereal and all this shit. I'm like, Famous, just say I don't want you fucking with my sister. But he's scared to say that shit. He's scared to talk that shit around these gangsters or whatever. So he just keeping it calm and cool. And Raquel sees what's going on. So she interrupts it and then she takes the focus off of Famous to D-Wiz and was like, so how your mama doing? She a little nervous or whatever. The brother just got out of prison and, you know, at least when he was in prison, she knew where he was and stuff like that. And so she looking at him up and down. Then she look at Lou and she like, keep that look in mind as well. Okay. They go into the store and, you know, Lou all friendly with the lady at the cash register, who I guess is the owner's wife. And her name is Juliana, and he notices her face. Mind you, this is the lady that told him that she wanted to, they can do business, possibly do some business. That's why he suggested their place. Mom got a black eye, and then her husband come out there talking about something. You don't do business with her, you do business with me, okay? And I just was like, oh, so you one of those assholes. And they go back there looking at the stuff and, you know, telling the rules about what we gonna do. We'll pay you rent. And he like, I want percentage off of what y'all sell on the streets. She was like, because I'm taking a risk. Raquel had to break that shit down. Yeah, you may be taking a slight risk, but we're taking a bigger risk. And if you want to take a real risk, you can bring your ass out there on the corner and do the shit that we doing, okay? And he was like, all right. I'll take it, you know? And so he's part of them, and now this is their little stash house. Meanwhile, Laverne, aka Jukebox, she down there on the street hustling. You know, she's selling clothes. 9 out of 10, I'm thinking that the clothes that she's selling with her friend, they're like clothes that they probably stole because she had to tell old boy, because one of the dudes that she was trying to sell the Ralph Lauren jacket to, it's real. Okay, if you want that cheap shit, go down there to the Africans. I said, oh shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. She was like, you know, she was able, and Laverne really is a fucking hustler because old boy wanted $100 for that jacket. She said $250 because the other dude, you know, he was trying to sell something for $30 and the customer was like, nah, I'll give you 20. And he said, okay, take it. I'll take it. And Laverne was like, man, we got to get your hustle skills up, your negotiation skills up. And so she showed him how to do that shit. She talked old boy into getting that jacket for $250 instead of the $100 that he wanted, you know. And I was just like, okay, so she got her money for the studio, now she finna jip. And I was like, that's how you fucking do it. Come on, you gotta have that hustle spirit if you in that hustle family. So Raquel, she comes home and she see Kanan in the doorway doing his little pull-ups, and you know, she let him know that I talked to your little friends or whatever, and that little Derek dude, he was like, you mean D-Wiz? Yeah, him. He just told me that his brother was out, so I'm assuming that you got the guns from Derek, who got the guns from the brother, okay? And I'm just trying to make sure that your crew is all tight together, okay? And she said, You know, Kanan was like, my crew got my back. We all too good. We all too good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. She was like, all right. And so next thing we see Raquel, Marvin, and Lou, they're talking about what's finna go down. You know, we got Kanan up in a little stash house. We're not trying to put him on the streets yet. That is Raquel's whole thing, trying to protect Kanan. And then she says, you know, because Marvin is about to do this little party thing later on tonight. And, you know, she told Lulu, you about to get your Reggie Jackson on. And the look on his face was like, man, what? And, you know, Raquel was like, I don't want to have to do it either, but it needs to be done. Remember that, okay? Next thing we see Kanan, he up in the stash house, and you know, he was annoyed because all they did was play video games all day or whatever. And you know, he just started walking around, and he goes down into the basement and notices this door that is very much heavily locked, and he was trying to push it open. And the dude that was in the stash house with him was basically like, why you doing, who told you to come down here? And had to set him straight. The only reason why you are here is because your mom is trying to babysit your ass. I'm just a glorified babysitter to keep your dumb ass off the street from the dumb ass shit that you did, okay? So in turns, this pisses Kanan off. Kanan gotta go talk to his mama. So you really just did this shit to me? You just took me in the stash house. You ain't got no you don't want to put me on the streets or whatever. Yeah, that is it. This is how it was done with me, with Decon, your father, and this is how it was gonna be done with you. I have to see if you are level-headed and not just gonna go off. And that's the same thing that your father did with me, okay? And so at this point, I don't understand why Kanan is trying to move so fast. Like, what point are you trying to prove that you can get down with the get down? Because granted, you grew up around this your whole life, and you don't have to prove nothing to your family. Your mama know what you capable of, but your mama also don't want you in these streets. And it's like, why are you so eager to be up in these streets? It's just baffling to me at this point. Moving on from that, you got Laverne. She out there with the little white girl, and they going shopping for the little debutante belle whatever ball that she's supposed to be having at her school. And she was like, you gotta dress something more than Ralph Lauren and sweatshirts and stuff like that. And so they was looking at this shirt. It was $65, and Laverne was like, aka Jukebox, just in case I've been saying them interchangeably. She was like, girl, I ain't finna get this shit, you know? And she was like, I can buy it for you. But you think I can't buy or afford my own shit? I don't need your money, okay? You little rich bitch. And you know, she got in her feelings a little bit, okay? And so she leaves out. She was like, I don't need this and I don't need you. You know, she leaves out. Of course, Nicole comes back and she was like, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to tell you that you was broke or whatever. Basically, that's what she felt like, you know? And that is the internal struggle that goes on when you have somebody from a lower class, or what you may perceive as a lower class or a different part of a town, that's with somebody in an uppity class or a higher class, that's type of people, you know, probably different price range, you know. One got money, one don't have as much money, and then you feel as though you being a charity case to this person and they looking down on you. So it's like not even at this point. And you know, that insecurity seeps in, and that's what happened with Jukebox. And you know, Miss Nicole or whatever her name is had to tell her, I wasn't trying to do that to you, but I can understand how you may think that, but at the end of the day, I want what you want. And she was like, I want you. And they kissed. I said, ew, right outside, we doing this right outside. You know, how y'all feel about public displays of affections? Okay, I'm out here, I'm cool with, you know, holding hands and stuff like that, but when it comes to kissing and shit, like in the public, it's, if you do like that, that's cool. But for some reason, like when I see people kissing, and I'm like, ugh, go in the goddamn room, okay? Like, take that in the house. Nobody needs to see all that. How y'all feel about that? But either way, Raquel did say that, you know, after she had that little talk with Kanan, you know, we're going to have your friends come over. D-Wiz, have them come over. Y'all can look at New Jack City. So while he's sitting out there looking in the newspaper, he notices Davina come walking past the house with her baby sister, and basically, you know, she's taking care of her sister. And just as I thought, something ain't right with the mama. The sister don't trust the mama. And when she was saying the sister earlier, I was thinking that the sister was a little bit older than that, but obviously she's not. She's a baby. And, even Davina had said that, it's rumors going around saying that you had something to do with your crew or whatever and know something about Buck 20's death. And he lied and said, no, I don't. You can't believe everything you hear. And she was in her feelings because when they put up in the newspaper mentioning his death, I think they only put like a couple of lines or 4 lines about it. And she was like, I hope when something happened to me, I get way more than that, okay? The way that he was reduced to. But, they don't care about black people like that, and especially drug dealers and shit. So, hey, what did you expect? And so, he was like, I see you in school. She said it's going to be a minute because she got suspended for a week for fucking that girl up. Meanwhile, D Wiz was on his way to the what's his place? Kanan's place, okay? And when that happened, what's his name had pulled up on him? Lulu. I'm finna delete this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to delete the upload the shy, and it's been trying to upload this whole time I've been recording. And it's literally just bothering me because I'm trying to upload it from my computer and it's going extra fucking slow. But let me deal with it this way. Let me do it on my phone. I'm sorry. But anyway, so he picks him up, get him in the car saying that, oh, Kanan is about to be up at this party, so he gonna meet you there, so let me give you a ride. And as soon as he did that, it was just something off about it. And I was just like, this don't feel right, okay? Don't get in the car. Meanwhile, Jukebox had just got off the bus and she sees what's going on, and you can look on her face that she knows this ain't gonna end well, okay? Marvin shows up at the club, and, Symphony got the day off, and, he called in sick, and, Miss Tony out there struggling a little bit, so Marvin helping her. He go out there to see what's going on with the lines and stuff, and she was like, you said you only had a few people coming. This a whole bunch of people on your shit that's coming, and I got a clientele that's already be here, so they take precedent, and then your people can come in. So he go down the line talking to his people like, I got y'all. I'm gonna put y'all in the express line. It's a group of white boys that's standing right there, just being goofballs and shit. And then it's these other niggas that wasn't with his people but was right there in the middle that kind of pulled them to the side and was like, yo, I heard you was looking for some soldiers, we down, okay? And so he was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then one dude was like, well, shit, can we get in the express line? And he was like, nigga, you can sit your ass right there in this line like everybody else. And then the white boy started laughing like, oh. I said, I don't like that. I don't like that, okay? At this point, it just really wasn't looking. I said something gonna happen. Y'all made it a point for us to just look at them white boys and them white boys to act silly like that, and ain't nothing gonna happen to them right then and there. And you got them niggas right there. Oh hell no. Okay, but in the club, D Wiz is up in there, right? D Wiz, well, he comes up to Lulu, who was up there talking to this girl. Mind you, he macking the girl, and she obviously a grown-ass woman. D Wiz is a teen, okay? Lulu done gave her some money or gave him some money. Bitch, he done put out some money or whatever. Either fucking way, bitch. The girl then went to, yeah, he gave it to the girl to fuck around with little D Wiz in the bathroom. Baby, did you see the way he was fucking on that girl, or that girl was trying to fuck on him? I said, oh my God. He was so confused by what was happening when the girl was pulling him to the bathroom. And when they finally get in, I said, I ain't never seen nobody fuck like that. Especially, I said, he was fucking like this was his first time. I said, it probably really was, and this don't feel right. This is underage shit. What is we looking? This is so predatory. But little boy looked like I said he gonna come on himself like before she finished. Okay, like he looked like he was struggling. Okay, like he ain't never felt pussy on his dick before. That's what he ain't know what to do with it. He ain't know what to do with it. But I was like, what is happening? I don't think we should be looking at this. So Raquel was over there at Symphony House, and she was like, tell me some smart shit about these buildings and the high rises, and he gave us a little bit of history lesson. See, I didn't know this shit about how the Romans made them first and made them for the poor people to be at the top and the class people, well, I said people that got money down at the bottom. But then when the elevator was invented, that's when the people that had money wanted to be at top and all this stuff, and then he brought it on back to the current times of how the high rises became like the project high rises, especially became like prisons for poor people. But anyway, so he was like, I'm born with you with this. Let's go inside. You know, they talking or whatever for a little bit, and then they just had sex. Okay, Raquel was like, you gonna give me this dick? Because he was like, wait a minute, we need to slow up and all this stuff. But no, that ain't what happened. She went on ahead and fucked him. Okay, and back at the club, you got Tony getting accosted by one of them little drunk white boys or whatever, trying to, you know, touch on her, and Marvin comes to her rescue, punching him, which starts this whole freaking fight. He winds up getting arrested, and she comes out there, she was like, oh my God, Marvin, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I can't believe that this happened to you. He was like, he said, that's all right, I can't have nobody disrespecting my girl like that. I said, wait a minute, your girl? Your girl? Oh, okay. And so she kissed him. They kissed, and she was like, oh my God, I never had any man fight for me like this. I was like, oh, so they finna be a thing? I kind of here for it just a little bit, because I kind of like Tony. I really do. She's, like I said, she a little spitfire. But at the same time, while all of this is going on, D-Wiz and Lulu had came out, and I was like, that lady practically raped that boy, but hey, you know, y'all gonna say what it is. Statutory and otherwise, he wasn't prepared. He was confused, you know, but he got into it. But still, we ain't trying to be technical, I guess. But they come out, they see Marvin getting into the fight. Lou was like, he could protect himself and all this shit. And so at this point, they driving, and they up in there talking. At least he talking about what happened, and then D-Wiz asking what that girl number is, and next thing you know, they was out there peeing or whatever, and he put the gun up to him, and the look on Lou's face was like he didn't want to have to do it. He mad that he had to do it. He's sad about it, but he had to shoot D-Wiz and take him out. Remember at the very beginning when Raquel was talking to Unique, and Unique said the streets need a body. Okay, and they kept alluding to it, and that's why they kept focusing on D-Wiz, especially when we found out that his brother was out, and that's where we got the guns from and stuff like that. So it was just inevitable, unfortunate, inevitable. And Kanan kind of realized something was going on, because D-Wiz was supposed to be over at the house. He hadn't shown up yet. He called his mom, and you know, he hadn't shown up. She already said that he left. And, you know, he looking at Buck's obituary in the paper, and, you know, he just laying in his bed at the end of the night like, this fucked up. Like, he knew, you know, you got Kanan, big Kanan, narrating and stuff that was going on and what was to happen. But at the same time, what got me was, you know, after Lou shot D-Wiz, he called Raquel and was like, home run, and she, you know, played it off like it was her son going to sleep with Symphony. And so at the end, what really got me was all of this was happening as Jukebox was in the bathroom singing my favorite Whitney Houston song, You Give Good Love. I said that was so goddamn random. I didn't understand it, but bitch, I was just gonna go with the flow. I was just gonna go with the flow. So you just trying to flex so she could sing or whatever. I don't know what it was about, but hey, they had that girl singing a cappella. She did a good job, and people died while she was singing. That was Raising Kanan. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and I will see y'all later. Peace.